Mr. President, on the final passage of Senate Bill 9-0, there are 33 aye votes, 5 no votes, and 0 excused.
A majority of members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed.
After years of attempts, a bill to ban hair-based discrimination passed Michigan's Senate this week. CROWN stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, and the bill's sponsors saying it's long overdue in our state.
After I introduced the bill, men, women, and children all over the state of Michigan and across the country reached out to share stories of humiliation. Some were very graphic, all were very heartbreaking about how their natural hair had created boundaries or barriers for them in the workplace and in school settings.
The CROWN Act passed with an overwhelming majority, with only 5 Republicans voting against the legislation. If Governor Whitmer signs it, Michigan will join 20 other states that have already passed their own version of the bill. ABC 12's Ebony J.J. Curry talked to a Mount Pleasant father whose 7-year-old daughter was a victim of hair discrimination and has his reaction tonight. Ebony, she was actually mentioned on the Senate floor.
Absolutely. You just heard Senator Sarah Anthony in her floor speech recounting heartbreaking stories like that of Jurnee Hoffmeyer, a biracial elementary school girl whose father said not only faced hair discrimination from classmates at her Mount Pleasant Elementary School, but the staff as well.
Thankful that it's finally gone through, because now, you know, my daughter, I hope she never has to deal with something like this ever again.
March of 2021, Jurnee Hoffmeyer's then 7-year-old mixed-race daughter, Jurnee Hoffmeyer, suffered a traumatic experience where a student and teachers cut her long, curly hair completely off to less than an inch without consent from either parent. Jurnee alleging it is a discriminatory constitutional rights violation.
And so, you know, that turned into a rally and a cry for the CROWN Act to be passed in Michigan. And I'm so grateful to see that that's happening now.
Activist Christina Lester of National Action Network says the journey to justice with the Hoffmeyer family has been one of resilience, especially after she found there was no legislation of the CROWN Act in Michigan and students had no protection from this type of discrimination.
I want little Black boys and Black girls to know that who they are is valuable and meaningful, and that they do not have to assimilate for any reason. Not a school assignment, not attending school, not to go to a school dance even, or play a sport, right? Not to get a job when they get older. They should embrace and be proud of their heritage. And not be forced or compelled to change that.
Hoffmeyer says the lawsuit pertaining to the discrimination against his daughter's hair prevents him from sharing additional details. But he says since the incident, he has become an advocate for the CROWN Act, as he says his daughter's hair has yet to go back to its original state, a fight in which he says one should not have to endure.
My daughter's hair wasn't up to their quality, or whatever reason it could have been. It doesn't make sense for someone to degrade you and make you feel like something is wrong with you just because of who you are or what you look like.
Attempts to pass the CROWN Act federally have been unsuccessful, although legislation passed the U.S. House in 2022. In 2021, Ingham County was the first in the state to pass a resolution banning hair discrimination. Other communities to pass local CROWN Acts include Ann Arbor, Lansing, Flint, and Genesee County. In the studio, Ebony J.J. Curry, ABC 12 News.
Ebony, thank you. A settlement was reached in Jurnee Hoffmeyer's $1 million federal lawsuit against Mount Pleasant schools. And we told you in February, court records showed a settlement had been reached, but the amount was not disclosed. The case is sealed.